What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, Azteca Boxing, Mexican media responds in a big way, in an emotional way, to the pound-for-pound king, 5-division world champion, 3-division undisputed world champion, superstar boxer, who is now retiring, who is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, in Terrence Bud Crawford. 42 wins, no loss and no draw, 31 wins by way of knockout, after defeating Canelo Alvarez in September. Now, these are the same platforms that stated that Canelo Alvarez was on a whole nother level. He's too big. Going into the fight in September, that Canelo was too big, too strong. Terrence Crawford is too small. It's a money grab. Same platforms. Now Terrence Crawford outclasses Canelo Alvarez, dominates him, wins unanimous decision, and is now calling it a career. See, they wanted an opportunity to get their get back. They're not truly confident that he can beat, that being Canelo Alvarez can beat Terrence Crawford. Canelo claimed to want the rematch with Terrence Crawford in September and not fighting on his traditional Cinco de Mayo weekend because wanted to give himself extra time to prepare and strategize to beat Terrence Crawford in a rematch in September. He was saying hopefully he gets the rematch. So now Terrence Crawford decided, I'm stepping off, I'm stepping away. No need. I've done everything I needed to do. I have nothing else to prove in the sport. So I'm stepping away. Now it was said his team, Bernie the Boxer, who's a trainer of Terrence Crawford and a longtime friend, he stated that, if they give Terrence Crawford $100 million, he'll come back for the Canelo fight. If not, it's nothing else for him to prove. So, with that said, Terrence Crawford calls it career. Canelo's a 4-division champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight, and Canelo is a first ballot Hall of Famer, arguably the greatest Mexican fighter in history. The most accomplished for sure, right? I think Salvador Sanchez is the greatest fighter out of Mexico. But, you can make a case for Canelo's a great fighter and the most accomplished, right? So, with that said, Canelo's a first ballot Hall of Famer, 63 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. For sure, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer himself. They're unsettled with the way it played out. And now they're talking about Terrence Crawford doesn't deserve to be considered undisputed. This is what they're saying on these Mexican platforms, right? They're saying that Terrence Crawford don't deserve to be undisputed because he never defended his undisputed titles in any weight class. They're right. He never defended his titles. But when he fought for undisputed, he left no doubt that he was the undisputed champion. No doubt. He beat the best fighter at 168, Canelo. He beat the best fighter at 147, Errol Spence. And he beat the best fighter at 140, Julius Indongo and Victor Posto, because Danny Garcia had left. He beat the best. Why he got defended against lesser opposition to be considered undisputed? So they're talking about, well, Canelo, he was a true undisputed champion because he defended his titles against lesser opposition. He didn't defend it against David Benavidez. When he was unified at 160, he ain't go for undisputed against Demetrius Andrade. He left meat on the bone, right? He ain't rematch Erislandy Lara. He left meat on the bone. Why? So Terrence Crawford has to defend his titles against who? At 147, who was he going to defend it against? I know. They're going to tell you Jerome Boutennis. But they forget that he had a rematch clause, immediate rematch clause in the contract with Errol Spence, and that's what he was waiting for. And then once that fell through, he moved up to 154. And Errol Spence wanted the rematch at 154 anyway. So he was moving up one way or another. Right? When he beat Errol Spence, there was nothing else to do there. At 140, when he beat Julius Ndongo, he already beat Victor Postal. And he beat like I said, Julius Ndongo and Victor Postal. So there was nothing else for him to prove there. Right? Absolutely nothing else for him to prove in that division. Who was there for him to defend it against? When he beat Canelo, who was there for him to defend it against at 168? To prove what? It's taking a step back. There's nobody at 168 that's going to propel him forward. It would be taking a step back. Everybody else is a step back from Canelo Alvarez. So who is he competing against? Christian and Billy? Who? Hamza Shiraz? Make it make sense. Ain't none of them better than Canelo. They're just looking for anything to discredit Terrence Crawford because they're upset. The thing is, push for Turkey to give him the $100 million. I'm sure he'll come back for the $100 million, rematch Canelo and beat him again. And then what? Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. It's nothing else for him to do. It's just like T.O. trying to discredit him, talking about he ain't pay his sanction fees for the WBC title. So that makes him non-undisputed. Shut up. And that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. I'm gone. Peace.